idea that sexual assault is real for black men. Because if a black man said he was assaulted, well, he's a pussy bitch. But if you wasn't assaulted, honey, you got lucky.
Yep.
You's a man now. Which I totally connect back to the social and emotional development of our young men and how we overage them. And that's how we get to on heart. Because if we tell them at 4 and 5, you know what, men don't cry. You don't cry, you a man now at 4 and 5. When they're 14 and 15, they then don't know how to process fear. So when they're approached by the police, instead of saying, I'm scared, or crying, because we would say, you cry in front of the police, you a bitch. But that's costing us lives. That's costing us beautiful lives of black men because they're displaying toxic masculine behaviors. They're scared. So instead of being scared and saying, I'm scared, they want to say, fuck the police, let's fight. And you know what? I just want to say this. A lot of people don't know this. I'm not just some figure on Instagram. I work full-time in nonprofit. I've been a teacher for 17 years. I've worked in Compton, Oakland, Los Angeles, most specifically South Central, and now I work in Harlem. And I teach human sexuality, reproductive health. And the ideas that we are passing down to these young people through social media, through the shit we post, we're ruining a generation. And we don't even know it because we as black people, we don't want to talk about sex. But we have to because we are dying at alarming rates. We are dying at alarming rates. And it's up to us to continue these types of discourse so we can learn from each other, so we can unpack that baggage, and so we can learn to move forward in a space where we can heal not only ourselves, but our community through understanding how sexuality connects to every single part of our lives and every decision that we make.
So let me ask you this, so why do you think that we're so scared to just know? And I think the fear of knowing scares people more so than not knowing. So why do you think that we're so scared of just knowing our status and knowing where we stand in society versus not knowing? Because I think a lot of people are just, they move through society with just, they're comfortable with not knowing how they're moving and not knowing where they stand as far as sexual status goes and as far as like their health. It's just like when they find out what's really real, that changes the whole perspective of how they were previously moving. So why do you think we're so scared?
I mean, this goes into a deeper issue. The idea that we in the black community, we don't want to recognize mental health as an issue, right? Like, mental health is important to our entire health, right? But we are the least likely to go to therapy. Now, I understand sitting across from a white man, telling him your issues is difficult, right? And when you look at statistics on the amount of mental health professionals that are people of color, you're looking at about less than 5% of professionals in a mental health space that are licensed that are African American, right? And that's like therapy, psychologists, and psychiatrists. When you look at a psychiatry level, you're looking at less than 3% of licensed psychiatrists in the United States are African American. So I get it. I get it. It's difficult for us to want to seek mental health. But when it comes to your physical health and dealing with processing, having an STI, being HIV positive, right? You have to go through that with more than one person. It can't just be you. It can't be, I got this. It can't be your family. Again, I'll take it back to the church. In the late 80s and early 90s, the black church failed us with the HIV/AIDS epidemic. They called it a gay disease. And then they would shun those of us who identify as queer. And I just said it, those of us who identify as LGBTQ. They told us we were sinners. They told us we were not welcome in the church. And unfortunately, that was the time we needed the black church to stand up for us. Because that was the connection to the community, right? And I'm not here to judge anybody's religion. I really am not. But when you think about how we as African Americans find community, we oftentimes find it in the church. So I look to spaces that are inclusive, because HIV is not a gay disease, and I'm only saying this because we're talking STIs and why aren't people getting tested, and statistically, African Americans are still topping out at the highest new infection rates every year. Every year.
And it's kind of interesting because I want to talk to you about, I have a homegirl that she lost her boyfriend because she contracted herpes, and it was so different that she or her boyfriend didn't know how to kind of like deal with it. So it's like, I want to talk about the stigma behind herpes.
Okay.
Because I think that kind of gets misconstrued within society.
All right. I'm going to spill the tea, or the deuce. All right, first of all, 80% of the sexually active adult population in America has oral herpes. What? That bitch. You too. You got it, and I did too. But like, here's the deal. So oral herpes. So there's two strands. You got oral herpes. You got genital herpes. Oral herpes, ironically enough, most of us didn't get it from fucking. We got it from puff pass, bitch. You got it from smoking weed, drinking after somebody, sharing a fork. That's how the majority of people get oral herpes, right? Now, when it comes to genital herpes, first of all, let me tell you something. A condom is not going to protect you from herpes. Herpes is a skin-to-skin virus. It is not a fluid virus, right? It's interesting because a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand that you could be, honey, you and me, we could be like, hey, bitch. I'll be like, let me get in that pussy. You be like, let me get in that pussy. And we be like, woo! And right, skin to skin is what spreads it. Skin to skin. So I mean, I could be like, hey, over here. And I be like, hey, watch me play myself here. And if I touch a person's genitals that has herpes, and I then touch my genitals, it's called skin shedding. That's how we pass herpes on to another person, when you are skin shedding. Now, although we know that most times you have to be in the skin shedding phase. That's right before you have an outbreak. That's when you get a tingling sensation. You might have a little bit of an itch in your genital area right before an outbreak. That's when you are most contagious. However, you can still pass herpes even if you don't have an outbreak. But let's be real. Herpes is not a fucking deal breaker.
What?
It's a minor I always like to ask this question. What would you rather?
No flies on me.
And this is no disrespect to right?
No flies on me.
5 baby mamas are herpes. 5 baby mamas. Herpes! Get your bell Give me 5 baby mamas.
I'll take all 5 of them every year.
What happened?
I'll take me all that week.
I'm with her.
What happened?
She said you want 5 every year.
Lord willing, bring my bank account.
I want 5
Baby mama can.
I'll take care of the trap. I'll take care of the trap. I'll take care of the child. I was land with that type of money.
herpes
On 5 of they look like.
is a great, my gynecologist.
Somebody
had
needed to leave.
a long conversation with a gynecologist, mine or other ones. And the individual told me, my husband has had herpes for 22 years. I have 3 kids with the man, and I've never had an outbreak. Now, you, more times than not, you are only contagious when you are having an outbreak. A lot of people have the herpes virus, but do not have outbreaks, because you only get outbreaks when your immune system becomes compromised or your stress levels spike. A baby mama is there forever. And if you got 5 of them motherfuckers, I will take herpes any day. All right?
I'm gonna have 2 kids go to the league.
I'm not bagging people with multiple children's mothers, but I want to convey to people that herpes is not a deal breaker, and that if you have herpes, you're not going to die, but please tell the people you're dating. I have herpes. Because I feel like a lot of people, they hear that, they're like, oh shit, I'm telling about my 5 days, and I ain't gonna tell her about this herpes.
And let me ask you that, Michelle. Why do you think people are so scared to admit that they have that virus?
Because this beautiful woman right here would rather 5 baby mamas. I damn sure will. Yes. 5 people are afraid. Because you got that shit. You need to say you got that shit. You should not be fucking wrong.
That's still not gonna help.
If you got that shit.
You're not gonna let
You're not
the nigga fucking wrong.
Messing with somebody. If you got herpes, you need to let everybody know who you talking to, whatever, that you got herpes. I have a funny story about that.
You're not gonna let him hit though, so it don't matter.
Speak on it, Queen.
So I once met this individual through a friend. And they're like, oh, you should meet my friend. They're pretty cool. I was like, okay, cool. I'll meet your friend. And then I met the friend. And I was like, oh, man, I'm going to add you to my friend list. And actually, I was in my grad program, and I needed subjects to write about my thesis. I wrote about things. I'm biracial, and this person was biracial. So I was like, yo, let me interview you for my thesis. They were like, all right, cool. So we became cool. And then one night we went out drinking. And the person was like, oh, by the way, I have herpes. And I was like, why are you telling me this? I had no idea why. And they were like, just in case I ever get the opportunity to sleep with you, I mean, at least he was being honest. Oh, he was being honest. Some people are not that honest. And that's how they get spread all around. I'm just saying, all STDs get spread all around. People are not honest. So at least he was honest. Oh, I was super okay with that. But I looked at the person, I said, at what point? I just looked at the person, I said, at what point did I give you the indication that you was going to get the fuck?
Doesn't
And I think you
matter.
might have thought you probably was going to get drunk, and you know people when they get drunk, they get dumb. I mean, I was drunk. I fell down the stairs. All right, you might have thought you was going to
As
take
men,
you home.
we always got a shot that we feel like we can.
School.
You may feel like that.
Right. It's been endless people that got the
feeling
idea
you
once
want to like, this is it.
All right, so
You
now
feel like you may
that
got a chance?
all right, so here's what happened. Fast forward
You had to choose who always got
3 years.
There you
Anyway, but I already, not to say I got herpes, I didn't. I just had an outbreak. But it's just the fact that that person just put it out there. They just said it. And in that moment, I was like, why are you telling me this? Nobody asked you anything, but the person put it out there. So I did appreciate it. So herpes is not a deal breaker. It's again, a gynecologist told me it's a great barometer for your health. Because if you're getting outbreaks, that means your immune system is weak. You're either too stressed out, you're not getting enough sleep. If you have a healthy immune system, not only will you not get outbreaks, but you also won't pass it to anybody. If you're thinking about taking some type of over-the-counter supplement that can reduce, whether you have oral or genital, lysine. Lysine is an amino acid. You can get it at the drugstore. It also helps you build muscle and work out. It's a vitamin. It's super cheap. Do about 1,000 milligrams a day. It can definitely keep the herpes at bay. But additionally, girl, because you're taking that risk every time you use condoms. Oh, condoms don't protect you from herpes or genital warts.
I'm just saying.
And I hear you, but condoms do not fully protect you from herpes or genital warts, HPV, which, by the way, HPV can also cause cervical cancer in women. So make sure, ladies, you are getting your pap smears. Get your pap smears. Because I honestly, I just want to keep it real. Some of my girlfriends be calling me with their pussy problems. And I have to remind them that I am not a gynecologist. But they hit me with that pussy problems. And I'm like, honey, when was your last time? And they're like, I don't know. Well,
I don't know that.
no, that's a good question. So here's what it is. It used to be once a year. You are close. It used to be once a year for women to get a pap smear. And this goes beyond just STIs. It really goes to the discussion of reproductive health for black women. And when you consider that black women currently are 3 times more likely to experience maternal mortality nationally than any other race, we have to start caring more about our uteruses. We have to start asking more questions at the doctor. So it used to be every year you had to go get a pap smear, right? But today, if you are having normal pap smears, you should get them about every 3 years, right? If you are someone who has had an abnormal pap smear in the past, you want to make sure you're asking your doctor when you should get those. But ladies, you over here that. It's not like a penis. It's not like dick and balls. That shit is outside the body. The vagina, the vulva, the uterus, that is inside the body.
How important is the vagina? Because like you said,
This is vital. What you talking about?
And men too, like a lot of men don't look at what they got, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are equivalent to what they have down south. That's an important
Cisgendered, heteronormative men that are watching, pussy does not smell like fucking freesia. It doesn't smell like strawberries. It doesn't smell like fucking mango. It smells like pussy. And everybody's pussy has its own scent, and it should be honored.
It got a stench, right? Like,
It's not
people stop fucking him and they didn't know.
ASAP.
That's not true.
For women, what we have to understand is a couple of things. The aroma or scent, not scent, our vulvas and vaginas coincide with our menstrual cycles. You have to understand that there are reasons. Like, are you guys aware that a woman's body actually changes? Like the idea of a menstrual cycle, those 28 days is so beautiful. Like there was a study done, right? A study done with female exotic dancers. And this is amazing. And they studied female dancers for multiple months. And what the study found was when these women, these artists, these performers would ovulate, they made more money. Because their scent, their stench, as this motherfucker say, was getting that coin. Because we have to understand that the idea of procreation is very human, like the base of human existence. You know, those aromas, those scents, they give off pheromones. They attract the man, and additionally, our actual body shape changes slightly during the 4 to 5 days that we ovulate, right? Our waist, no, not when you ovulate, honey. Your waist appears smaller and your breast bigger because it is trying to attract the opposite sex to procreate. So, additionally, with your scent changing during different periods of your menstrual cycle, so does your discharge. But let me say this, for those of us who may or may not be on hormonal birth control, changes everything. And I'll be real, I'll put my own business out there. I am not a fan of hormonal birth control. I never have been. But last February, you know, I teach. I'm out here preaching. Like, oh yeah, the IUD. So I got an IUD. I got a hormonal IUD. First of all, I had the worst fucking it I've ever had in my life for the first 6 months. And additionally, I will totally disclose this, and I just am saying this for all the men that are in here who don't have to take fucking birth control. You don't have to put fucking fake hormones, synthetic hormones in your body to keep you from getting pregnant. And we as women are taking synthetic fucking drugs to keep us from getting pregnant because you don't want to use a condom because it doesn't feel the fucking same. A lot of us do. But there are a lot of us that do. And I want to say this. You don't? Okay. Of course you, but it feels better.
You want to fuck raw. I mean, everybody wants to fuck raw, but you're just nasty.
nasty as classy bitch. But I just brings up a really good point. So thank you for bringing this up. But one of the things that in our community, like Black King is like elusive. Like, you know, Black King is amazing, right? Again, I don't have any problem disclosing certain things about my experience, certain things about my experience. I've been to sex club, and actually, I was not let into a sex club because I was black. It's like a swinger. I mean, like, it was a swingers party.
I mean, that's interesting. Like, I've never heard of like, yeah, I'm going to call. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it.
I think, here's what I think is happening. I think a lot of us are doing this. I know people of color are doing this. We're not talking about it. Wasn't an orgy party, it was what we would consider a swingers party, where people who live a swing lifestyle. So in other words, you and I might be a couple, but we choose to have sex with other people. We willingly go to this event. But here's the deal. So I ended up going, this was years ago, and I went with a friend who was like, hey, they called me earlier in the week, hey, I got tickets to a swinger weekend, but I'm not allowed to come without a female companion. Will you go? And I was like, sure. You know, like, I'll go and see it. I'll be honest, I didn't fuck nobody. Like, I was I watched. But we also, so there was two parts. So usually when you go to a high class swinger event, they usually have a party before something starts happening. So there's an event at a club where you meet all the people that are going to be at the second space, right? So you get the opportunity to kind of engage with them, to talk with them, to meet them. So we went to the club and we did that. It was great. We had a good time. And then when we went back to the location for the actual like swinger event, they almost didn't let us in because we were the only black people. And it was off-putting to me because, one, I was like, hold on, I'm a bad bitch. Like, I ain't fucking nobody. Still, you don't know that. And that's a good. Yeah. And then the other part was when we did go in, there was one other black man there, which takes me to the idea of being sexualized. Black men, y'all out here fucking all these bitches, all these, of course, all these different races. Yeah, you don't.
They don't.
No, honey. No, better. I'm just saying, and I'm stopped it. And I'm not saying this. I'm saying that you should, like, experience other things. They tried though. They're people exercises. But the thing is that what I want black men to understand is that yes, we see black women fetishize on a regular basis, but you are fetishized all the time. Because 90% of the bitches that is fucking you because they think you got a man makeup. Especially if you having sex with women of other races.
And all y'all niggas ain't got no man niggas.
Thank you. That's my point. Okay. That is the exact point.
No here, no here, no.
That is the point. Like people think, oh, we a black man. And if not a man dingo.
I got dingo.
A black man. It's not that. A black man, he knows how to fuck. Because black men, and this goes back, and here's the real tea, right? So I see the locker room, and I look at the future of how we can shape black society, right? But the idea that a black man knows how to fuck because he's a black man,
It's not.
but wait, be honest, it bleeds into race culture.
Yeah.
It bleeds into the idea that men's rock hard cocks are speeding bullet trains that cannot be stopped. So if a woman says yes and then she thinks she's a thought, she decides to stop, and he will not. That is rape culture.
That happens now.
But the power of listen, it will. Naki, what the fuck is you talking about?
I mean.
And that's your problem.
You get you somebody that
That's your problem right there. That's why you ain't got no girlfriend. You got a problem.
I'm young, right?
Yeah.
Still like now, right?
Listen, people, I can't. Wait.
Yeah, when you vegan, that's it.
I'm just saying, anybody.
When you vegan, you don't get that.
We got some grown-ups in here.
When you vegan, you don't get that. What you talking about? I don't get that. What you talking about? I just gotta eat.
Y'all get excited. Listen.
I just need food in the belly.
A couple things. As you get older, sex is going to change and you're going to get less of it. Honey, let me be real. I done put miles on this pussy.
Whole face.
You got no choice.
No, you're not. You don't have to go through a whole thing to experience life.
Your boy trying to get the cougar.
So you gotta go through define whole phase and shell.
Call it. Call it. That's it.
17 years in the class of my way. Dog is talk. Get away. The fuck is a whole face? This rape culture right here. We're perpetuating. Holding, Archie. You over here perpetuating rape culture. You over here perpetuating rape culture. It's not. I don't believe you. What is a whole face?
Archie, explain because you said.
This is rape culture. Look at us.
Explain, Archie, because we want to know.
A whole thing has to do with like sex. It's not about sex.
What is it about?
It's about getting to know yourself. It's about dating.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's about knowing what you want.
So getting to know yourself, how does that make you a hoe? Because you're getting to know yourself. If you're getting to know yourself, you shouldn't be dating multiple people because you're getting to know yourself. What are you talking about? No. You said you get to know yourself. You get to know yourself. You shouldn't be out here dating multiple people because you get to know yourself.
You're getting to know personality. Interact with it. They don't want to interact. Do you think on the whole thing, you're more educated on this?
Because you asked me.
I feel like I started. And then y'all motherfuckers cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Okay, again. What the idea that we will call a woman or man a hoe because they are experimenting and exploiting their sexuality is fucking rape culture.
Well, now we got people clapping.
Because rape culture is the idea because you deem them less moral than, or what was she wearing? How much did you have to drink? Again, I don't give a fuck how much you had to
So
drink.
it's not nothing wrong with being a hoe.
How to think.
It's not a hoe.
Damn, you missed the hook.
It's not a hoe.
She just basically said, why is you calling
She's not a hoe. She's
her
not getting paid. She's not a hoe.
The idea is,
She's not getting paid. She's not a hoe.
it's not, honestly, it's not really, it's the idea of what is a hoe.
It's not a hoe. She's not getting
To
paid.
be honest with you, the things that I would identify, first of all, the very definition of a quote-unquote hoe is somebody who is a sex worker. And currently, hold on, there is current legislation that is moving forward that we need to be aware of that will directly impact those who are sex workers. And sex work is work, especially when it is done without any type of coercive entity. Sex work, we will not call it that.
No, it's not wrong. What?
It's called sex work.
Right. The oldest professional
And
rule.
people are referred to as providers. So please, remove the word prostitute from your lexicon.
So they call sex workers.
There you go.
Or provider.
Provider.
And that's, here's the deal, let me be very honest with you.
Everybody get wrong.
There are people, like right now, I'm becoming frustrated because we are so, like I can tell in this group, we know so little about sexuality. We are ignorant. It's like you want to fucking hide something from a black person, put it in the motherfucking book. Because the very idea that we're still calling individuals who are providers prostitutes, and we in fucking DC, you know how many bitches is paying mortgages, providing services for individuals in this community, and it goes beyond. It goes, hold on, it goes
The trannies
beyond.
be down K Street. Stop.
Whoa! What the fuck you not gonna do is use that term? Be on campus. And oh no, boo. Because I'm thinking, now, last year in 2017, 28 trans women were fucking murdered. And the majority of them were black. And you over here calling people trannies? The fuck out of here. You should be ashamed of yourself, people. You all want to hashtag Black Lives Matter. You want to hashtag Me Too. You want to hashtag Time's Up. But you will not stand up for your fucking trans sisters? The fuck out of here. They are a part of our community too. 2017 was the most deadliest year for trans people. The majority of them were black, murdered by their brothers. Beyond that, we are in month 3 of 2018 and we've already seen 6 trans homicides. I apologize if you think the way I just came off to you was a little aggressive. But I will not be a part of anything that does not stick up for all people of color. Race, creed, sexual orientation, I don't care. They are my brothers and sisters too. And they are the most marginal. They are the most marginalized sector of our community. When will we stand up for them? When will we hashtag for them? Because it's not a choice. People are born this way. People, and this is why we have these difficult conversations. Because we have to educate our community that we are all brothers and sisters. Regardless of our orientation, gender expression.
So before we get to the Q&A, I want to ask you, and this may be a change of conversation, but I want to talk about masturbation. I want to get more into that.
I want to get more into thinking pussy.
There we go.
Can we talk about how to eat pussy real quick, please?
Yes. Yes.
We just been on some sort of
Talk about how important we need to masturbate.
I swear to God.
This masturbation.
Did somebody say what?
Yes.
Do y'all got married?
Oh.
So here's my observation. Right? Like, if we don't know how to please ourselves, how do we instruct someone else to please us? Right? Like, if you don't know how to get yourself off, how do you articulate to someone else how to get you off? Furthermore, alright, so this is your clitoris inside your body.
Your clitoris.
All we see is like this little nubby part right here. Or in this case, right here. Right? So the clitoris, it kind of goes like this, underneath and down. It's important for us to play with that. So, and man, it's super important for you. You know that the clitoris extends almost 4 to 5 inches inside the body? Y'all gotta play, y'all gotta play. So you want to play with it. Also, you gotta understand, the majority of women are not going to have an orgasm by you.
Baby girl, I'm finna fuck you. You don't feel it.
No, motherfucker, I'm gonna feel it on my cervix. It's gonna be beating up my cervix. And there's no nerve endings in your cervix. They're on the clitoris, so make the man in the boat stand up, child. But let me go to the dick right quick.
Wow,
This is the dick. This is a When we think about sucking dick, what we need to remember is, so the clitoris is the clit, and all of us start out with the same parts. You know that? All right, so this, the glands here on the head, this is the same as the clit in the woman.
How come they put no teeth on it? You know, they
Like teeth. Okay, I forgot. He's in his one. His girl got braces. So you know, you wanna focus on the head of the penis when sucking dick, but also you want to try to stimulate their prostate. Yeah. And if they're not open to a little pain, because a lot of like think that's gay for whatever reason. And also anything you do with a man and a woman. Thank you. It's not gay. But if you cup the balls and you use your middle finger to massage the perineum, right underneath the scrotum, wow, taking it down, right? Right? So if you can do that, you'll be able to stimulate the prostate. And if you can stimulate the prostate while giving someone oral pleasure or even a hand job, they will probably experience the most orgasmic, the most intense orgasm ever. But if you have a heart condition, I would advise you to talk to your doctor prior, because you're laughing, but a prostate orgasm can cause heart attack.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh god. What?
I hope you don't have sex questions.
Yeah, so after that, I hope y'all have the Q&A. Try to open up for the audience. If y'all got any questions that y'all want to ask yourself, she's well endowed and
Wait, endowed what? What our word?
Me, I hope somebody has some questions. Hey, there we go.
I have a question.
Oh, look, you get a mic.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Thank you for coming. I enjoyed it very, very much.
Great.
But I have a question about squirting.
Oh,
And how do you experience that? Like, is it something that you use to help the man to be
say, is it peace? And I heard someone say, how do we do that? Oh, God. What are you doing with this?
I don't know what it is. I mean, I've done it before, but it wasn't like consciously done it. Well, I think I've done it, but it wasn't conscious. So you tell me.
And I realized, like, after
Yeah, so when a woman squirts, it is diluted urine.
Okay.
The chemical compounds of it are urine. And really what it is considered, it's called coital incontinence. So sex, medically is called coitus. So it's coital incontinence. And what it is what you have to understand is that all the muscles in that area are interconnected, right? And they've done studies where they had women empty their bladders. That's why I always advise people urinate prior to sex, okay? So you empty your...
Yeah.
Absolutely, men.
I think it's misconstrued that women are supposed to do it first.
No, men, okay, wait, here's what it is. Men should do it first and if you're not having protected sex, because your fucking pull-out game is so strong, most definitely urinate before sex. But remember, you can't pull out a chlamydia or AIDS, honey. So how strong is your pull-out game? So, it's kind of, but when men urinate before sex, what it does is it lines the urethra, which is the medius, is the little hole, the urethra, so it shares two. That is acidic. Semen is a base, and the acid from urine will kill semen. So if you urinate prior to sex, pre-cum is actually there to clean out your urethra. So it will make your pre-cum less, it's not less base, I want to say like, it's going to make it, the sperm in their pre-cum less viable, but not impossible to impregnate. Now, for women, you should empty your bladder because you have to understand where the clit is and where the bladder is. What can happen is if you get too excited, you're having a great time, you're about to orgasm, what we found is even if you emptied your bladder right before orgasm, your urethral sponge, can eliminate a little bit of urine or a little bit of liquid that is diluted urine. It doesn't smell the same. It's not gonna smell like pee. It probably won't be yellow, but it is chemically made up of diluted urine, okay? And that's okay. So all you motherfuckers out there talk about, ooh girl, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. Your goal should be to fuck the piss out of you, really. that should be the goal. That's when you know I came hard. But it's totally normal and it's just a part of sex. It's messy.
And you talk about sexual chemistry, because I don't think that's something that gets talked about a lot. So as far as like, I think so many people get caught up on fucking and they don't really understand that you only have great sex if you got sexual chemistry. Like, if you can really like enjoy somebody after you nut.
Well,
I think that's so important. If you can't really enjoy somebody after you nut, it's not.
I like how, so what you're talking about after nut is called, so it's called aftercare, right? So this is really popular with people who practice BDSM. So after you orgasm and after you have sex, you should probably check in. Now when it comes to sexual chemistry, what we have to remember is that your brain is the most important part of sex. If it doesn't start in the brain, it's not going to start at all. Because when we look at the human sexual response cycle, first you have to have this excitement phase, then you have to have like a plateau phase, then you go through an orgasmic phase, and then you have a resolution, right? Men, just so we're clear, you cannot have multiple orgasms. Women, we can have a ton of them. So, guys, make that man in that ball stand up. Okay,
What's your name?
all right. So you want to be mindful of that, right? But it all starts in the brain. If you're mentally not turned on, you're not going to be physically turned on.
You know, but that's not like any past experiences, you know what I'm saying? Just just have the sex with certain women, it's like, I only want to be next long after I'm not.
You probably shouldn't have fucked them in the first place.
But you know what?
Just names.
It's about men thinking with our dicks. Is there any way that we can kind of like, move away from that?
I feel like, again, the fact that all these people are in here right now,
Because we think with our genders was so
you won't,
much.
I promise, trust and believe. Everybody, all the men who are in here, you will walk out of here, and maybe what was said here won't leave here. Maybe you won't remember that. But what you learned here tonight will leave here. And the next time you come in a space where you are about to get sexual, high likelihood you might think twice. You might think a little bit more because you had the opportunity to engage in a higher level of discourse around what sex and sexuality is. We need to create more opportunities for us to have these conversations so we can all have better sex. Right? Like, it's what it is. And not only that, there's a lot of spaces, and we went a lot of spaces tonight. We touched on a lot of things. But there are a lot of spaces in which our equity in America is attached to our sexuality. What the hell is genital? Right now I'm holding my pee. Is that genital? Thank you.
I think it's for men because we don't really understand the importance of genital control. Y'all got questions? If y'all got questions, then ask them.
We only been
So, I just wanted to say, when it comes to, I mean, we're talking about sex and genital control, whatever that means. I feel like if I'm engaged in a sexual relationship with somebody, I don't necessarily have to be in love with them, but I would prefer there to be some sort of like, I need to enjoy my space with you because I feel like sex should be like a playground, right? You should want to be able to like go different places and do different things and explore with that person. And that there's a certain part of vulnerability that comes with that. So that doesn't mean that I have to like marry you afterwards, but like I want to like have fun because I feel like sex is like not fun if it's just like one and done. And then if you can't like do the check-in thing, that's terrible. But my question is, I think that it's very important for sex, like when for children, like starting out, I think like we're all sexual beings. Like when we're born, we're sexual. And I feel like a lot of times that's suppressed in us when we're younger. And parents are like, no, they shouldn't be doing that, blah, 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 no, no, no. But it's like, this is who they are. And I think, I don't know, I guess I just want to further the conversation in that realm, because I know a lot of kids will get like, do like something their teddy bears or different stuff like that. So people are like, what's going on? And
Totally
it's like, no,
normal.
it's just pleasure, right?
Totally normal.
It's totally normal. So I want to know, like, what are some ways that we can normalize that?
Absolutely.
In our children, or like have those conversations with our kids starting from a young age, so that sex isn't just a thing when they turn 16.
Right, so first and foremost, great segue to plug my book. Hey! Oh, somebody bought it. You get an autograph. So here's the deal. Again, sex, this is my saying, from the womb to the tomb, honey, sex is a part of your life. Sexuality is a part of your life. Actually, we know that in gestation, boys will masturbate while they're in womb. All right? Boys will play with their penises while they are in the womb. Additionally, if you have a child under 4 and they're masturbating, please encourage that. Totally normal, right? You start teaching sexuality before they can speak when you're changing their diaper. You say, Mommy's gotta wipe your penis right now. Mommy's gotta wipe your vagina right now. And here's why. It creates bodily autonomy. And then when fucking creepy Uncle Larry, or whoever the fuck, comes up to them and is like, oh, you touch yourself there, it feels good, it's bad, I'm not gonna tell. They know, wait a minute. Mommy told me that it's okay to touch myself in my own room by myself. Furthermore, they will be more encouraged to tell you, y'all, Uncle Larry tried to touch my willy. No, my penis, because we have to stop giving genitals kid names. It is a vulva, it is a penis. It is not a hoo-ha, it is not a pocketbook. And I'm telling you, 17 years in education, I've heard pocketbook, I've heard cash register, lollipop. But think about it like this. We live in a society where we move very quickly. And if your child comes home and says, Mommy, someone tried to touch my lollipop today, you're not going to register it like if they say, Mommy, someone tried to touch my penis today. We have to protect our children from sexual predators. We do this by educating them to knowing what their anatomy is named. Will we name a fucking elbow a hoo-ha? Will we name a nose a fucking winky? No. So why are we pussyfooting around the pussy and the penis? Don't make no damn sense. Don't make no damn sense. So my book, The Girl's Guide to Sex Education, is a it's like a letter to young women, ages 10 to 14. It's questions, it's very simple answers. Listen, you ain't gonna find the keys to life in this. It's really a book to give young people the language to talk to their trusted, knowledgeable adults in their lives. All right.
Next question. Who else got somebody?
Oh, Lord Jesus. I know, I'm about to die.
Speaking man. How you doing? I was hoping you could speak on Kundalini.
Speak it, guys. Just speak up.
I was hoping you could speak on Kundalini, sexual energy. Yeah, have you heard of that? It's like, yeah, chakra.
All right, so you took me way left there, but I can't. So the idea of our chakras. Again, I'm going to take this back to trauma, right? So we have chakras. If anybody understands energy, you have like your crown chakra, you have your like third eye, you have your vocal, you have your chest, you have your abdomen, and then you have your root chakra. Mm-hmm. And the root chakra is in the space of the genitals, right? And when you think about sacred sexuality, and for women it's way deeper than it is for men, right? Because there is something known as a cervical orgasm. And a cervical orgasm is a deep, deep, deep orgasm that is brought on by cervical stimulation. So I know, I see you. The cervix is stimulated. And that's like knocking on the door of the womb. And you wake up the womb. And then the feelings for that individual become way more intense. That's when they get hooked. So I think that if you're looking at things like sexuality and sacred sexuality, you have to honor your mind and your body, which ironically enough, again, remember I told you about the miles on the pussy? Before I got into this work very, very heavy, I was a feminist, I was a liberated woman, I was like, I'm gonna get it. And a lot of people think that as I've grown in my space as a sexologist, I'm swinging from chandeliers. But my sex life is not that exciting because it's more sacred now. Right? Not to say I won't fuck. Not to say I can't fuck. But who am I fucking and why becomes way more important. Like for you to enter this temple is a privilege. Not only because I have good pussy, but I suck a mean dick. You have the privilege of experiencing that. Like you should know that. And I'm not discrediting anybody who wants to suck and fuck. Like I've done put my ears in. I paid my dentist society, right? Now, how do you think I got so good? But at this point in my life, it's like I want it to be sacred. I want to share a connection with somebody. And I feel like you spoke about this earlier. We're not talking about sex before we have it. which means we're not able to have the greatest of orgasms.
I mean, based off of what you said and what you told me.
Girl, how important is orgasm?
So many women have not experienced that.
What?
Well, there are a lot.
You got it,
There are a lot.
You got it,
But maybe it's because
Bro,
men,
you got it. Before you.
there are different types of orgasms. There's more than two. There's many types. There's many. You can have a nipple orgasm. You can have a plural orgasm.
You
can have a
bullshit,
vaginal
cuz.
orgasm.
You snitching on yourself.
But I'll wait. I'll treat y'all like my kids. I'll wait. But what's not happening is the communication. That's what's not happening.
Women lie.
Yeah,
Women
no
might lie,
question.
but so do men. And men, you have to understand the man's anatomy. Like Viagra was made for a reason, because you can give a man a pill that will flow blood to a central area, and that will get them erect. The pink pill is not like Viagra. It doesn't work the same way. It's a pill for the brain. Women take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to become aroused. And it's much more mental than it is physical, right? And it's important for us to understand that if you want to have great sex, you also have to have great conversation. And again, men, I swear to God, we can fucking move beyond these compromised consent situations if men would understand the power of the clit and start asking women, how can I please you? Because you're going to be pleased inevitably. That's how your anatomy works. But if you started asking women things like, what position did you want to try first? You're never going to be in trouble with compromising consent because you asked her what position she wanted to try first. It means you put the power back in her hands. Because women are not sex objects for men. We're sexual beings that want pleasure equally to men. And that's what feminism is in my mind. Equal orgasms. Kind of like equal pay for equal work. Hello?
I think we've gotten that point to fucking told.
You lit, bro.
That's the man with the perfect.
You lit, bro.
One more question and we'll move to the Robin. We got a Robin for
I'm not even making the rap.
We got one more question. Man in the back right here. What's up, beloved? What you got to say?
I need a question to come.
A man in the back right there with the blazer.
My last lover.
What? Damn.
You ask me everything.
I'm curious as to what BDS. About what? BDS. BDS means bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. Okay? So, bondage and discipline, sadomasochism. So the idea of that is somebody is a power, someone is a dom, someone is a sub, sometimes people are switches. My favorite book in that is Venus in Furs. It's free on Amazon, and it's a great book. It's all about like the original BDSM. 50 Shades of Grey makes it look cute, but we as people of color, we don't talk about it a lot because it's kink.
We got any more questions?
Any more questions? Oh my gosh, one more question.
Damn, I ain't
Yell
getting
it
all
out,
that
girlfriend. I got pee.
Vibrator, what kind?
Oh, do I have a vibrator too?
What kind of thingy?
A lot of different ones. Go ahead, come on. Kegels, yes, Kegels. I'm doing them right now so I don't wipe my face.
Yes.
I have on no hands.
That's love.
So when, have you tried doing it when police are about to come, like if you said it's about to
Yes, that's called the pull the condom off. No, I mean, what it is, you want to, first of all, your body, when you orgasm, those muscles will start to squeeze, right? So naturally, when you orgasm, you're going to start to, this is going to happen because the muscles are contracting. Now, you can do that during sex, and it's probably gonna make them come. But you just wanna squeeze, squeeze, and the way you strengthen those muscles is through Kegel bars, if you can get. Or, when you go to the bathroom, you wanna pee and then stop, and then pee and then stop, and then pee and then stop, and then pee and then stop. And sometimes when I'm at my desk at work, I just squeeze my badge muscles, squeeze, 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 and that's Kegels. And that will help strengthen your vagina, it will help you get a stronger orgasm, and it will help massage the penis while inside. No problem. Do the
We're
raffle.
gonna take a 3-minute break.
Do the
After that,
raffle.
we come back with the raffle. To all the ladies who win some prizes. We'll be right back.
Put it in. Mess with it. Squeeze it up, squeeze it up, squeeze it up.